Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with City the Animation episode number 1 reaction. Alright, so this is a brand new show and it is written by the same author as Nichijou, and I think it's also being animated by KyoAni. So this is like a perfect, like, you could say, I wouldn't call it a replacement, but a perfect uh, like thing that is similar to Nichijou, because it's been a long time that we got Nichijou, and I did watch Nichijou quite recently, but Nichijou came out quite a long while ago. So I feel like a lot of people who have watched Nichijou when it aired, since it's been so long, they're very excited for this. I recently watched Nichijou, so I think like it was like very recent, like 1 or 2 years ago, that I reacted to Nichijou, and I absolutely loved it. So I'm looking forward to this one as well. I've heard people say this is like exactly like Nichijou, like as funny as Nichijou, I think. So this is gonna be good. I'm excited. So let's watch the first episode. City the animation. Let's begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Right, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. What the? Is that a peacock? Long rock? What? Oh, damn. Wait, what's going on? Drying rack? Oh my god. Yeah, I see. Is there a possibility of the petrification to go out and it comes back to life? What the hell? Is this underwater? What's happening? Is this underwater? Oh my god, the visual is so beautiful. Oh my god. Yo, this is one of a kind. I love that they have kept this. Okay, let's watch the anime opening. Okay, so this is happening underwater? Oh no, okay. Okay. Wow. Okay, the song is really beautiful. Okay. Right. Leprechaun. Yeah. Yeah. But you're curious, right? Now that she said that. Makabe family. Okay. Okay, I'm so happy. The the art style is just the same. What? That's supposed to be lucky item? I don't think it's going to give you luck. It's going to give you the reverse. Um, where? Who said that? Yeah. uh, Eaten it probably. Nah. You know what? This guy. Oh my god. The logic. Wow. That's why you have to wear it. Damn, that convinced him. Yeah. Oh my god. Whoa, what's happening? Hey, yo, why is he? Oh, wait, who's that? Staff only. Oh my god, people are looking at him and snapping pictures. No? Wow. Matsuri, that's her name? Okay. Oh, so this is Echan. Okay, that is not. True. That is true. Right. But a friend. Yes. Oh, wait, what the? Right. Oh my god. Like, right. Oh, the whole jump on the. This funny little game. What the, just bears just sleeping? Right. This like it really looks like a picture, like made by like pencil and crayon. It's so beautiful. What's happening? Ah. What's that? Is that a cat or a bunny? We saw that as in front of the school as well. Sweet Olive Manor. Mangaka? The editor is also crying. Oh no. Midori Nagun. Yeah. So she's one of the employees here. Oh no! Oh! Oh! Nah, man, that is crazy. Now what? I love how. Nah. But then what? Yeah. Wow. Well, it's not wrong. What the? Oh boy. So? Oh no. Yeah, you're gonna get him drunk? That's the plan? Wine. Still. Oh, they're making something. No, what? They're distracting him with the wine on the house. Oh god. Oh no. Oh no, it's another one. Yeah. And now you have worsened the situation. He got hit in the forehead, and there's another plate of noodles. Right. Oh god, that was funny. Well, well, you got what? Well, you got two noodles on the house, so you know. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! The microphones. Yeah, I guess. Also, we you got two plate noodles on the house. Yeah. Oh, he still hasn't noticed. I, oh no, he's going to. Oh, the employee who wouldn't show up. He wants to go to his match. Oh no! Oh my god! That's his bag? Alright. Well, then, yeah. It's a gift from the gods. Oh my god. Yeah. Alright. Oh, he's wearing it. Oh no. Well. I feel like um right, and this guy's just spying on them. Again. What? Okay, right. Wako Izumi. I need to remember the names. You know. What? Oh. Hmm. What? A. Oh no. Damn. Hmm. Okay, what is going on? What are these? Yeah. Oh boy. Heart rate. Yeah, she has a whole arsenal of weird ass things to calm her down. Right. Oh. Oh no. Oh wow. Oh. Wait. That. Oh, there you go. Well, it worked out. How did? Yeah. Okay. Right. Right. Oh no. Yo, this is crazy. She has some weird ways of calming her down. Oh. Hmm. Mr. Bummer, reality is okay. Oh my god. Oh no. Okay. What? Alright. Okay. This is. Oh no, his. That. Oh lord. Room 203. Wait, is that the ending? Oh no, never mind. What's hap? She's also doing. What? What? Nikura. Damn. Yeah. All right. Okay. Hmm. Yeah. Why is she saying broccoli? Okay. Oh my god. Wait. Right. She's like, ah, worthless. Oh, okay. Hmm. Well, you know that girl. What's her name? The one who was doing weird stuff? Is that her picture? I need to check. Alright. Oh. Oh. Hmm. Hmm. Damn. Okay. Well, she said she has something. Yeah. Okay. Right. Right. Okay. Alright, that's it. Okay, that was a good first episode. Like, I'm having a little bit of trouble in remembering the names. Obviously, they just introduce like 5 to 6 characters in the same episode. But yeah, I think I'll be able to. Take me a while to remember the names. Okay, that it? Yes, and that was the first episode of City the Animation. Okay, so obviously you can see the similarities. Like, the same author as Nichijou. You can see the similarities. The humor is very you could say random, just like Nichijou. Like, it just, like, you don't know what to expect. And just like Nichijou, we have a lot of characters here, and it's like as far as I can remember, like Nichijou also had like the whole city had so many characters, and each and every one of them like had their own thing. And Nichijou did, however, have like a story which kind of, as far as I can remember, it kind of going like converged. Like, we had like two separate sets of characters. The professor, if you remember, the professor and like those guys, and then there was those three friends. I've forgotten all the names, so and I remember, like, at the middle of the show, they kind of converged, and both of the set of characters came together, and it actually became a coherent storyline. Up until that time, it was like all random incidents happening. I do wonder if something like that is going to happen here. But for now, obviously, we got introduced to a few set of characters. Obviously, I don't remember any of their names. But I guess I'll remember little by little. But we have the first set of characters was these guys. This guy who was uh, who wanted to know about like the fortune, the horoscope, and his sister was like, "Oh, your lucky item is like a skirt." Those guys, and then we had a few other, those two friends, like the blue haired girl and that other girl. uh, in the school, those two. Then we had the part timer. I think her name was Midori. I think her name is the only thing that I remember. Um, she, we had the one who was watching the shogi match. I think that guy. Then we had this girl who's has very weird ways of calming herself down. Okay, I need to check what is her name, because I think at the end the picture that won the first prize is probably her picture, because she takes some weird pictures you saw. So it must be her. Let me check. Let me see what her name is, and I'm going to cross check with the picture at the end. Um, so what's her name? Wako Izumi. Alright, that's her name. And the ending part, you see the part where they were like, oh, what's the first picture? So who won the first prize. That part, where is that section? Just a minute. Okay, here it is. Okay, where is that part? Hmm. Alright, here it is. Show me the one that won the grand prize. Yep, Wako Izumi. Yeah, I knew it. Like immediately, I was like, it must be her. Because come on, who the hell is going to take a picture like that? So yeah, so we saw her, Wako Izumi, doing some weird things like rubbing an eraser, and then she was like taking pictures of mushrooms and rubbing mushrooms, and then she was sniffing ink. Oh no. Yeah, and while sniffing ink, she was having a whole flashback of her life. Then, after going back home, she was worshipping. Oh no, not even at home. She was worshipping that rat looking statue in the middle of the street. And then, after going back home, she was worshipping it again. She wanted her point card. And then she was sucking on that thing, the. What was it called? The papiko or something like that. Wait a minute. I returned to my room and gave the papiko packed into the tip as an offering to the. Yeah, so there's a little bit of a, I guess you could say, translation miss here, because there was a like a wordplay here. She says, I returned to my room. Yeah, so she says like the papiko stuck at the tip of the papiko. Like there was like a double papiko that she uses, which I don't know. It's kind of funny because she constructs the sentence in that way, which kind of makes sense. The whole thing is called papiko. I'm guessing the drink that she was drinking, and the thing inside of it is also called papiko. So she says the papiko inside of the tip of the papiko. Obviously, the translation wasn't able to do justice to that, because the translation is give the papiko packed into the tip as an offering. Yeah, so that was a translation miss, but I'm sure there'll be a lot more translation misses, because like, yeah, localization, translation doesn't really hit the same way, especially in shows like this where there's a lot of hidden meaning in the wordplay. Like Gintama had that. I'm pretty sure Nichijou also had that, as far as I can remember. Yeah, so many other shows have that. Any type of comedy show has that. Like wordplay, like Japanese wordplay, which unless and until you know a little bit more about the language, you won't be able to get. And a lot of the translations also completely ignored that, destroying the whole purpose of the wordplay. So yeah, this wasn't really that big of a wordplay, but still, it was like a little bit of a wordplay here that they kind of missed here. But it's fine, I guess. Uh, I'll just need to keep my ears open and properly here, because I do kind of understand Japanese at least a little bit. So I feel like a lot of the wordplays I might be able to catch, but there might be a few that I miss. So let me know in the comments. Either way, so she was like, she eats the papiko, and she's just doing these weird things. Oh, the eraser as well. She takes the eraser and stretches so much that it's like a thin layer, and she starts rubbing it, and yeah, that's crazy. Okay, one thing, let me know. Is this guy, you see the mangaka, is he supposed to be the author? Like a self insert? Let me know, because I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if that's like a self insert of the author himself. And they were like making a joke at the end about, like, they were like, the editor was like, oh, like, I have one joke, and he was like, please tell me. And in the end, the editor was like, this is the final chapter, or something like that, he said. Right. Okay, and then we had the other two. Like I think we had Midori, right? The girl who was doing the part time. She and this other girl who wants to like do photography. That's why she's like trying to snap pictures of the broccoli and she wants to like get win the first prize. And Midori was like, her name is Midori, right? Wait a minute. Let me just double check. Maybe I'm saying a wrong name. City, you know what? I'm just gonna bring up the My Animalist page. I think we have the names over there. I will be able to cross-reference the names. Alright, let it open. I don't know what's happening. Why it's taking so long. Right. Anyways, let's continue. So yeah, she wants to like make she wants to do photography and all that. So yeah, and she has everything like she has everything like kind of planned about her life, which really surprised and fascinated Midori. Let me check. Is her name Midori? Yes, her name is Midori. Okay, so there's Izumi Wako, who we saw. Um, that girl, the photographer girl, right? Oh, Ishika Yui is the one who's doing the voice act. Okay. Um, right. Wait, really? Ishika Yui? I couldn't. Wait a minute. Just a minute, guys. How the hell is that Ishikawa Yui? In no way. I genuinely cannot recognize the voice. Wait, her name was Izumi Wako, right? Wait a minute. Just a minute. Okay, wait. Okay, just a minute. I will have to. I'm still struggling with the names, so. Okay, so. Right, so she's snapping the pictures. I think this is where they show the name, right? I'm just double check. Yeah, Izumi Wako. I'm surprised. That is crazy. I still cannot recognize her voice. If it's Ishikawa Yui, I should be able to recognize her voice, right? She did so many, like did Mikasa, she did 2B. She has a very distinct voice. I cannot recognize it. That is insane. Oh my god. Alright, I wasn't expecting that. Okay, anyways, Izumi Wako. Nagumo Midori is the girl who, like, the part timer. Nikura. Okay, Nikura is the name of the girl with Midori, who's like, I'm guessing they're like roommates. Um, then we have Makabe Matsuri. Matsuri is that girl at the beginning who has, whose brother was like, yeah, that girl. And then we have Makabe Surubushi, which is the name of the father, and Makabe Tatewaku. Wait a minute. Their name Matsuri means festival, right? What does Surubishi means? Surubishi? What does that mean? Surubishi meaning. I'm pretty sure there's some kind of a. Okay, I cannot find the name. But Tatewaku. Tatewaku is Tatewaku meaning. Traditional Japanese pattern resembling rising steam or clouds. Ah, okay. Alright, so yeah, these are the characters that we met today. You know, most of the characters. So okay. So I do have a basic understanding of their names now. Izumi is that girl. Midori is the part timer, and then we have Nikura, Matsuri, okay, Suribishi, and Tatewaku. Alright. Oh no, there was another girl we saw. What was her name? Echan or something like that. I think who was, like who was friends with Matsuri, right? Yeah. So Echan and Matsuri are friends. We have Nikura and Midori, who are friends, And we have Izumi Wako, who's just walking around snapping pictures. Tatewaku, Matsuri, and Tsurubushi, they're a family. So okay, that's the current situation. Okay, I have a basic understanding of the the connections. But yeah, like I was saying, I do wonder if the guy that we saw, the mangaka, if that's supposed to be the author himself. Like it wouldn't surprise me. Okay, so right, and there you go. So that was this episode. As always, like I knew it was going to be funny. It has this humor on point. This is exactly like Nishijo's humor. There were certain sections which was quite, like, very much funny. For example, the whole, the the noodles that went out inside the bag, the crispy noodles arc, that little section was extremely funny. That was really funny because they were like trying to figure out how to, like, make him like distract him from it, and then they messed up even more by tripping and putting in another one of the noodles, and Midori just smacked the cork on its face. So trying to salvage the situation, they made the situation even worse, and at the end they realized that that's not even his bag. Oh god. That was funny. That was very funny. That part was quite funny. I really liked that section. And the other part that I really liked in today's episode is Izumi, doing her weird things. Like, first she was rubbing a mushroom, then first she was sniffing ink, then she was rubbing mushroom, then she was praying in front of an idol, then she was rubbing her eraser, then she tried to go and find her point card, which she was able to easily get, and then she goes back home and starts, like, eating papiko, and then she starts rubbing the rubber again by, the eraser, by stretching it. Yeah. So okay. Right. So yeah, those two parts were especially funny to me, the noodles part and that part. And the other parts were also quite funny, but those two parts especially, I don't know, they kind of um they were the highlight of today's episode for me. Okay, other than those two sections, yeah, we also had the Tatewaku, like, thinking. The Tatewaku's whole thing was that he was like, I want to be lucky because I need to go and watch. I think, like, he wanted to go for a baseball match or something, and for that he needed a part timer. And in their place, there was that part timer who was going to come, but he had no faith in the part timer because he thought that she's not going to come at all. So he was like, "Oh, if I have to go, I have to be lucky. We need to get a part timer before that. Otherwise, I will be stuck helping out the shop." That's why he wanted to be lucky. So when they brought up the horoscope, when her sister brought up the horoscope, at first he was like, I don't believe in them. And then he was like, maybe the lucky color at least, and the lucky item. And this is where the whole skirt thing comes into play, where she was like, yeah, you need to wear this skirt. I love how, his father always, like, brings up these weird, like, comparisons to other stuff to convince him. Like, he brings up the fact that, oh, if it was like curry rice, what would you do? Would you keep it with you? Would you put it beside you? No, you'd eat it, right? So similarly, it's a skirt. You're not supposed to put it beside you or keep it with you. You're supposed to wear it. Just like how you're supposed to eat curry, you're supposed to wear the skirt. So you have to do that. Otherwise, you won't be lucky. And they kind of did that to make him wear the skirt, and then they started laughing at him and snapping pictures. He does the same later as well, when they get to know that that's his bag. So he does the same there as well, and he's like, oh, like, this happened because you weren't wearing the skirt. And he's like, I am wearing it. And he takes out. And then they start laughing and snapping pictures again. Oh god, that was funny. But at least he was able to go to his baseball match, right? Yeah. So there you go. Okay, so that was Tatewaku. We also had Echan and what's her name? Masuri, right? Yeah, those two. And they were like in school, and they were like talking about like making money from hand, and they were doing this weird thing where Echan was like, oh, like, I want to make all the counterfeit currency in, no, I want to make all your money into counterfeit. And then they started talking about how it is dependent on Masuri, and in the end her whole like ending line was that it is because it's not because I want to make counterfeit money, it's because I want to be with you. And then started hugging and everything, and then she did the whole sumo throw. And then she recovered from it, and yeah, it was a whole, I don't know, it seemed like a whole skit was happening over there. These two just, you know, doing some kind of a mini skit. And then they start doing those things. Like, I remember, like, as a kid, I don't know how many people do that nowadays, or they used to do it, but I'm sure like a lot of people can relate to the whole jumping on the lines, on the road. You see like a road, like there was like a maybe like some kind of a painting on the road or something, like some kind of lines and stuff, you have them. And you kind of are like, okay, I'm going to step on this line, and I'm going to keep going on the line, and I'm not going to touch the outside ground. If I do it, like, I'll die or something like that. Like, so you try to do that. Or not only that, but shadows as well. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how many people do it nowadays, how many kids do it nowadays. But back, like when I was like in school and stuff, like very young, yeah, that was the thing. Like, you see like shadows of buildings, be it like trees, or other stuff, or other people's shadow as well. you know you're like, I'm going to only I'm going to only walk on the shadows. I'm not going to walk on anywhere else. Those type of games, like make believe games that you used to make when you were a kid and when you were bored. I feel like kids nowadays don't even do that. Don't even know what the hell that is. Like, they're too busy probably fiddling with their smartphones. So, those are the things. These were like, so when they were like doing the thing with the like with the crossing, I was like, oh, that's funny. And then they were doing the whole dowsing rod thing as well, and other stuff. Yeah, so that was pretty funny. Right. Like I said, I really enjoyed the whole noodles part where they dropped the noodles, and they were trying to figure out how to convince the guy into thinking that, oh, like, like, I don't know what they were trying to do. At first I thought they were trying to get him drunk or something so that he doesn't notice. And even if they were trying to do that, like, Midori just messed it up by smacking the cork into his head. And and the guy, what's his name, wait a minute, Tsurubishi, he just, for the second time, he tripped on his slippers and just threw the whole thing into the, oh my god. Yeah, right. But at the end we realized that that's just what's his name, Tatewaku's bag, so it's fine. Oh boy. Right. And then Izumi's weirdness, we see that as well. He has a whole flashback after sniffing ink. And so he goes to the police station to go. Okay, one thing. In front of the police station, there's this statue. What? I feel like I've seen the statue somewhere before. The statue? What? Just a minute. Yeah, this thing. Where have I seen this? Was this in Nichijou? I cannot remember. The statue with the you see the statue in front of the police station. That statue I'm talking about. I feel like I've seen this somewhere before. It was either in Nichijou, or it was in some other place. I've seen this. I cannot recognize. I remember where I've seen this before, but somewhere else. Yeah. I think it's probably like some kind of a like some kind of a like common statue maybe in Japan. I don't know, because this really reminds me of Haniwa statues. Haniwa statues. Haniwa, right? That's what they're called. Yeah, Haniwa statues. It really reminds me of Haniwa statues. So I'm guessing this is something similar to that. Again, I feel like I've seen this somewhere, but I just cannot pinpoint where I've seen it. Um, anyways, right. So yeah, there you go. That was that. And then in the end, we have Midori and Nikura. I love how Midori's like Midori's like, damn, you have a goal, and she was saying it in such a way that it seemed like she had nothing, and she's uh, like envious of the fact that she has everything figured out. But then when Nikawa was like, "Oh, like, do you not have anything?" and she's like, "Yeah, I have something. I want to do something fun." She's like, "Okay, that's a bit of a broad like parameter, right? Like doing something fun." And she's like, "Yeah, I want to do something that is the most fun." And she's like, "Oh, okay, like yeah, this is like." She's like, "You're so pure." Oh, right. And yeah, and there you go. That was where it ended. Now another thing I want to see here, because I was a little bit confused here. I thought that this was underwater. I don't know why I thought that, but yeah, it's not underwater. Obviously, it's like that scene in the very beginning where they were showing like the city from the top, like a bird's eye view. It was showing. They were like little droplets and everything. I thought those were bubbles. I didn't realize those were rain. I thought those were bubbles, and the whole city is underwater or something. That's what I thought. Like I thought those were like bubbles and everything, but those are actually rains. The raindrops, and everyone was like, like with umbrellas and everything you can see. I have to say, this part is so beautiful. Like, just look at this part. It is like, I don't know what to say. Like, this art style, this like curling style, is so beautiful. It is like the simplistic art style, which doesn't have any shadows. You can see, like the characters here. Like Nichijou also had this. They don't have any shadows, no shading, nothing. It's like when you are a kid, you just draw something and you just color it with with crayons. That's it. No shadow, nothing. You don't put any of that. Just pure coloring. It's that, and that is why it looks so vibrant and beautiful. Yeah, there are okay. You know what? Now that I'm looking at it, there are shadows. Like yeah, there are shadows now and then. But for the most part, the characters and everything, it's very simplistic. Like the shadows are just there in positions where it is extremely required, where there's like a shading or something. But for the characters, like in anime, how you see like the characters, their like dress and everything has like shadow lines and everything. None of that is there. So it's like pure like color, and it looks so beautiful. Yeah, this is probably, I don't know what it is, like a different type of a like art, but it is so like like so appealing to me. Like I don't know, it is just so simple and it is so beautiful, this art style and this coloring style. And obviously this is Giovanni is doing this, right? Yep. Yeah, it makes sense. They did a very good job here, and I'm very much impressed with the coloring and the art and everything. Like the art is obviously the author's art style, but I'm saying like the coloring. The coloring looks beautiful. Like this is like a coloring that I would see in like comic books or something. Like that. Right. And yeah, so like I said at the beginning, I was a little bit confused. I thought it was underwater. Water, because I thought those raindrops were bubbles. I thought they were like all underwater, like SpongeBob or something. Like that would be pretty funny. But yeah, no, that's not what it is. Oh, and at the beginning part, I don't know if there's a bigger significance of the whole story that they said of that peacock. Like that was going and that became petrified. So I feel like that's going to come back into play later on. But for now, they kind of mentioned how they used that thing to do various things, like use it as a drying rack, use it as a sundial, and all these things. They kind of mentioned all of that. So yeah, I feel like that will come into play later. For now, I'll just remember that. um, and there you go. That was my reaction, my impression on the first episode. So I'm going to end it here. I'm not going to doing a scene by scene discussion. I will probably not do a scene by scene discussion of this show at all, because this is not a show to do a scene by scene discussion. It is a show where you just have to, express what parts you liked, what parts you found funny, and yeah, and that's what I did. I tried to mention everything that really stood out to me, like the noodle part, the other part, like the Izumo part, Izumo, right? That's her name. Yeah, Izumi. Sorry, Izumi part. I mentioned those. I mentioned the sections that I really liked and everything. I'm just going to do that because, like I said, this is not a show where you have to discuss about what's going on and trying to. Yeah, it's just a show about having fun, and I'm just going to do the discussion section like that. So I'm going to end it here. Absolutely loved it. The first episode was amazing. I'm looking forward to the upcoming ones. So that is it. Thanks for watching. This was my reaction to episode 1 of City the Animation. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. And yeah, that is it. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of City the Animation. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.